Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you've had a fantastic week. I was meditating this morning, and while I was meditating, the word pride came to me. And here's what I have to say. There are two types of pride, and one is just being proud of an accomplishment or something you've done, which is not bad. And then there's the pride where you kind of think you're better than someone, or that can cause suffering. And I sat on this one for a while today because I wanted to figure out what God was specifically speaking to me about today. And what I came to realize was he was talking about how, since I am the oldest of 7 and a mother of 4 and 3 beautiful grandkids, I am kind of like the caregiver, caretaker, the fix everybody's problems, or, the one everyone comes to. And when you take on that kind of role in life, it's really hard for you when you are going through something to reach out to others, because you're the fixer. So you're used to fixing things, not the one that needs help in the fixing. And this is what he was telling me, was that I can't do like I did 2 years ago after I lost my daddy. Well, almost 2 years ago. It's getting really close. But how I suffered in silence, went into a very deep depression. And when people would ask me how I was doing, or ask me if I was okay, or if I needed anything, I would just let them know that I was doing fine. Everything was dandy. Little did they know that I was drinking myself into an oblivion almost daily, and in a deep, deep depression. And it was my pride and ego that prevented me from humbling myself and having courage to admit that I was suffering, and I was suffering deeply. So I held it in to the point that it basically totally destroyed my life. But it destroyed it, but in a good way, because it helped me to rebuild myself from the inside out and gain a more meaningful life than what I was living, because everything was just a symptom. And so I have to be grateful at this point in my life for that suffering. But now, looking back, I know I should have let go of my pride, because it may have saved me from so much suffering. But everything happens for a reason, and there is a great plan in everything. So I can't look back at that. I can only live in this moment and continue taking the appropriate steps that I need to take in my life. So I'm going to read a quote that I found, and it says, "There are two kinds of pride, both good and bad. Good pride represents our dignity and self-respect. Bad pride is the deadly sin of superiority that reeks of conceit and arrogance." And that's by John C. Maxwell. So here is what I want to say. Don't suffer in silence. Don't be so prideful that you think you're better than everyone else and hide behind the pride when you're really suffering inside. Now, I'm going to read a couple of verses, and then I'm going to leave it there. The first one is Romans 12:3. "For by the grace given me, I say to everyone, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with faith God has distributed to each of you." See, we can't put ourselves above others, and we have to look at ourselves and humble ourselves and reach out when we need help. The next one is Luke 14:11. "For whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted." That's the key. We have to know when to humble ourselves and know when to ask for help, and to not put ourselves above others. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope this helps somebody, and I just want you to know you got this. You are enough. You are worthy. You are loved. And if no one else has told you today, I love you.